Welcome back, everyone. My name is Eltimar, and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous. Where we left last time, we were in Dresden. We talked to Sir Kyr, I believe, or Sire, whatever his name is, and it's time to go face off against a dragon, I guess, for the first time. It's gonna suck. But let's get into the city. The Sword of Valor glows as if in greeting. The glow is so bright, it's not immediately clear there's another source of light present, the shimmering golden wings of a magnificent angel.
Valiant champion of Golarion, allow me to greet you. My name is the Hand of the Inheritor, and I am the Herald of Iomedae, the Lightbringer.
The face of the angel is hidden by a helm, but his eyes are clearly looking at you. When he begins to speak, there's an undercurrent of excitement in his resounding, proud voice. The angel drops to one knee before you, his grace belying his monumental stature. Thank you. You do me a great honor, Herald.
I am only giving you the credit you deserve, valiant champion. We have much to discuss, champion. You must have many questions for me, and I for you. First of all, I wish to say that I have come here to do what I can to help you. But also because I too need your help. But what I need most of all is an answer to a question that has been troubling me.
If you are here, does that mean I'm truly Iomedae's chosen?
What does your heart tell you?
I believe I'm the chosen one and will do everything I can to defend Golarion.
Conviction like that is what is needed to set hearts ablaze in righteous fury. I'm glad to see it in you. I hope my answer won't cause you to waver in your certitude. Listen, I cannot answer yes or no to your question, for it would not be an honest answer. Do not wait for me to say, here is the power bestowed upon you from on high, and this is the task you must complete. That will not happen. For my lady Iomedae, righteous queen of heaven, may mark a mortal with her blessing, but she would never seek to impose her will. Sometimes even I am not privy to her plans. I have come to you not at her command, but of my own accord. But I would recognize the light in heaven in any soul, and I see it in you. I can only guess how and why it was lit. Perhaps finding the answer to this question is a trial you must undergo.
I have so many questions for you. Will you tell me about Iomedae in heaven?
Most certainly, with great pleasure. But first, let's discuss the issues of the day. I'm sure we'll have time to talk after that.
I like this guy. What do you want to ask?
I sense astonishing power in you, akin to my own. But not just that. Many of Heaven's warriors fought the monsters of the World Wound, and among them there was one I especially cherished. My young comrade and friend, Loriel. He and his sister Targona crafted holy weapons, and exchanged them as a sign of loyalty and camaraderie. Loriel and Targona both disappeared in those dark years when we lost Dresden and the Sword of Valor. Even I failed to find any trace of my friends. But you carry an echo inside you, the memory of Loriel's sword. How did this come to be?
I reveal the light of heaven. When you say I carry an echo of Loriel's sword, do you mean this?
Yes. I recognize this power as mortals recognize the voice of a dear friend. It's so sad to know I will never again see the one to whom this sword once belonged. But to see its light still shining in worthy hands gives me hope.
The angel makes a gesture as though wanting to touch the light, but stops himself at the last moment. His voice is soft and sad. I received the sword in the caves beneath Canabris. I had a vision in which Lariel was betrayed. He died protecting his mortal companion.
Yes, that sounds like him. He loved mortals, and understood them better than many of us celestial warriors did. Or at least, he thought he understood them. But you say the vision visited you in the caves beneath Canabris? I see now. The suffering of the first Crusaders, whose children were maimed by the demon's strange villainy, was a matter very close to Lariel's heart. For most of us, our only concern was defeating the demons. But Lariel wanted to protect mortals above all else. I think he went into those caves in search of the people who came to be known as mongrels. But demons often use our virtues to hurt and torment. They turned a rescue mission into a deadly trap. They will pay for this sin and others. Forgive me for my outburst, and thank you for your story. At least now I know what fate my dear friend suffered.
You hear an angry rumble in the angel's voice. Do you know who killed Lariel? The creature resembled Discari and possessed immense power.
Many demons in the Abyss mimic the appearance of their repellent master, but I do not think it was a Darachni or a similar beast. I find myself reluctant even to utter this name under the skies of Golarion, but there is a monster who takes special pleasure in killing warriors of heaven.
The angel is silent for a moment, his fists clenching angrily.
It's called the Echo of Discari, for it truly is an echo. Not a demon born of the Abyss, but an artificial creation of the Lord himself, wrought by him and several of his mortal followers. I sense his fetid mark in this tale. The Echo likes to strike by stealth, weaving an intricate web of lies and treason, and he despises everything connected to heaven and Iomedae. I am not in the least surprised that he hunted Lariel down.
Do you know anything about the people who accompanied Lariel to the caves? Most of them were traitors, but one girl stood against them and perished.
Alas, I do not know the names of traitors or the heroine. Lariel died shortly before the World Wound opened its mouth for a second time, devouring new lands. Many Crusaders disappeared in those dark days of chaos. The lists of the dead and missing were long. I assume the names of Lariel's companions were lost along with them. Perhaps those traitors are honored as fallen heroes today.
I have no more questions.
I do. This story is not over, and I humbly ask for your help.
What help would the Herald of a Goddess need from me?
I will ask for help not for myself, but for the righteous souls who may be in danger. Listen, I am going to reveal a secret to you that no Crusader has known before, except for the righteous Queen Galfrey. The demons believe their control over the World Wound is absolute, especially at its heart, the corrupted lands near the Threshold Fortress. But this is not true. There, in that web of evil, lies an enclave of the forces of good, the last shrine of ill-fated Sarkoris. That place is called Pulura's Fall. The Shimmering Maiden is an Imperial Lord, our comrade and friend. She was able to conceal her temple from the eyes of the demons, and keep it hidden all these years, from the opening of the World Wound until this very day. The waterfalls that gave name to the temple have run dry, but not the bravery of those who stood guard when their nation fell. The servants of Pulura have an important mission. They explore the World Wound from the inside, looking for ways to close it once and for all and restore the lands of Sarkoris. They have risked their lives, forsaking all joys and rewards in pursuit of this goal, and they have been busy with their research for 100 years. Secrecy is their only protection. If that is lost, all the forces of the Crusader army will not be enough to protect the temple. I would not reveal this secret to anyone else, but the light of heaven is so bright in you that I cannot help but trust it. Moreover, I would like you to visit Pulura's Fall with me. There are 2 reasons for this. First, I am worried about the fate of our valiant allies, and I want you to meet them, champion. Second, I would like you to show them the light of Lariel's sword. As I mentioned, this sword was created by his sister Targona. She went missing at the same time as her celestial brother. We found no evidence of her death nor any other trace of her. But by touching the sword she made, the seers of Pulura might shed some light upon her fate. Please, help me in this task. My heart yearns to find my lost comrades, or to punish those responsible for their deaths.
I guess we can go right now.
I will be glad to accompany you. Gather your companions and let us depart.
Well, this is going to be... Oh, we are exhausted too. This is not ideal. Hope we get to rest, because otherwise we're going to die. Maybe we can rest as soon as we get there. Fingers crossed. This is a departure from the evil group. To be fair, the further we get into the game, the more the evil group and the good groups will depart from each other. The woman's face seems to glow with radiant light. She looks at you with quiet dignity, and her eyes shine with warmth and wisdom. Greetings, Herald of Iomedae, the Lightbringer, and to your companion as well. I am Aleandra, High Priestess of Pulura. I'm happy to see a new face in the temple. The first I have seen in all the years of our vigil. The man standing next to Aleandra does not look like a priest. He has a military bearing, and his face is covered with scars. He studies you for a moment, then looks you straight in the eye. Kater, leader of the Holy Guards of Pulura's Fall. I see you have revealed our existence, Hand of the Inheritor. Did we not agree to keep it secret even from the Crusaders? What has changed? My righteous allies. This is no ordinary Crusader, but our champion. She brings us hope. She was chosen to receive the gift of the gods and has twice dealt a serious defeat to our enemies. First in Canabris, where she thwarted Discari's devious plot, then in Dresden, where she saved the city and returned the Sword of Valor. I ask you receive her as a most welcome guest, and as a sister in arms, where we stand together against the hordes of the Abyss. I am Elira, Knight Commander of the 5th Crusade. I'm honored to meet the servants of Pulura and the defenders of Sarkoris. Aleandra lays a hand on her heart. It's an honor for us as well. Tell me about your mission. Why did you decide to remain here in the World Wound? This temple has been blessed by Pulura. Whether it is day or night, the stars are always visible within the heart of the sanctuary. That's why those who study the stars conduct their observations here. Moreover, if we ever hope to understand the World Wound, the only place to study it is within its borders. If we leave Pulura's fall, all the work we have done over the past 100 years will be lost. You may be wondering why this work is so important. The answer is simple. We are looking for a way to heal the World Wound once and for all. Through our many years of study, we've discovered that the World Wound cannot be closed like an ordinary portal or a planar gate because it is too much like a living creature, always growing and changing. The World Wound does not simply cease or simply exist on its own. There is something else that sustains it, and until we understand what that is, our efforts to close it will never succeed. However, we've achieved much over the years. We've disproved numerous theories and trialed various research methods. Tracking oscillating energy levels across the World Wound led us to an important discovery. The World Wound has a heart of sorts, at the place where the wound was first opened, the Threshold Fortress. We also found a way to weaken the heart, along with the demons that inhabit it. We will imbue a mighty artifact with both the power given to us by Pulura and the memory of the Priestess Sarkoris. It will weaken the connection between the Threshold Fortress and the Abyss. This artifact will clear the sky above the fortress and set the sacred northern stars ablaze. Even if this doesn't heal the wound, it will give strength to those attacking its monstrous heart. I have all the resources of the Crusade at my disposal. I'm sure we could assist you in your work. I do not think that's possible. This is our life's work. It requires endless devotion and can only be completed by followers of Pulura in her sacred temple. No one can aid us in this task. However, Aleandra hesitates. There is other work we were forced to abandon because we lacked the strength, time, and resources. We previously explored the possibility of opening new world wounds or improving the existing one. Did you know the wound has already undergone a growth spurt of sorts? It's not entirely clear what happened, but the wound suddenly began to expand at a rapid pace, and the energies of the abyss poured out of it. We tried to discover what triggered this event so we could prevent it from happening again. Research on the subject ended several decades ago. We can give you everything we managed to discover. However, you should be careful. This is dangerous knowledge and must not fall into the wrong hands. What's the situation here in the fall? Things are no better or worse than they have been over the past 100 years. The temple is safely hidden from the prying eyes of demons. They simply cannot see us. However, the most experienced fighters leave the boundaries of the temple, and they do so secretly, for the heart of the World Wound lies beyond its walls. Demons, foul corruption, even the corpses of our own dead have turned against us. You say you've been living here for 100 years, but you don't look that old. That is a rather uncomfortable subject for us all, but by the will of Lady Pulura, all the inhabitants of the temple live longer than the normal lifespan allotted to mortals. We have no need of the Sun Orchid Elixir, as our queen does. The power of the stars sustains us. We will face Pharasma's judgment only when we fulfill our mission or the temple falls. The Hand of the Inheritor and I have a matter to discuss with you. My righteous allies, allow me to tell you about the matter that has brought me here. You know Targana and Lariel, the angels who defended Sarkoris in his final dark days. Elira helped me to discover the fate of Lariel, and it was alas sorrowful, but I have not lost hope of finding Targona. I believe you can help me. Elira has a special gift, the imprint of Lariel's sword. The sword was made by Targana. I know it's within your power to look for the creator of the blade, if Elira reveals its power to you. Of course, we would not deny our help to our allies. My Lady Pulura would also be glad to see Targana return, should we manage to find her alive. But the scrying ritual requires preparation. I will give the necessary orders. You will have to wait till everything is ready and the stars favor our efforts. Aleandra and Katar exchange glances. We will help, but it would be best if you leave Pulura's fall after the ritual. Forgive my bluntness, Hand of the Inheritor, but you and your Knight Commander are notable figures. The demons are surely trying to track you, and if they follow you to our temple, our work may come to a tragic end. Aleandra's eyes drift over to one of the guards, and she is silent for a time. Then she says softly, I would like you to be our guest for a while, Knight Commander, while you wait for the ritual. See, the way we live, talk to our people, maybe news of the Crusades' revival will bring some cheer to our little community. I would ask that you pay special attention to the temple's guards, as well as the Stargazers Auden, Regnard, and Teriel. Dark clouds veil their souls, but it is not within my power to help them. You should honor her request, champion. Aleandra is one of the most radiant souls I know, and Kitar is one of the most loyal and devoted. They spent 100 years together with their comrades in voluntary isolation. It would be easy to lose one's clarity of perspective. I do not know mortals well enough to sense whether doubt or despair lives in the hearts of those who dwell in the fall, but perhaps you can. Oh good, we can just rest here. Sweet. I'm just gonna save before we... Oh, we teleported. We hit rest and we just teleported here. Okay, that's fine. We desperately need to rest for just like a sec. We're extremely exhausted. And we will die horribly if anything happens. We can't get abyssally corrupted here. That's pretty sweet. Okay, let's go look around. This is awesome. It saddens me that a good chunk... Well, I guess our evil group won't miss this part. I think we have to come here anyways at some point, but... We'll talk to the... There's a Monadic Diva here. Or Deva. Interesting. Actually, there's more than one. And there's the Hand of the Inheritor. Let's go back to the beginning. If we can find our way back to the beginning, we can just make our way out. Okay. Oh, they have like a mushroom cave. That's adorable. Who were we supposed to talk to again? I've been so like enraptured by this whole event that I just kind of wasn't paying attention. Stargazer, will talk to him. Never liked crowds in cities. I could spend another 100 years in this temple. Alright, and this is where the Hand of the Inheritor and... There's a Liland Azada here. This place has got lots of, like, high-powered creatures. Anywho, let's go look around for people. Vigdis. A tiny old woman runs her bony fingers along the tops of several magical scrolls, her lips moving silently. Who are you? The old woman squids short-sightedly. And who are you? The voice is not familiar, and I can't see your face. No, I don't know you. My name is Vigdis, and I was once a junior priest of Pulura. Now I manage the temple's resources and provisions. I put everything where it belongs and keep it safe. If you were once a priestess of Pulura, why aren't you a stargazer like everyone else? The old woman laughs. My stargazing days are over. I only see what's under my nose. Lady Pulura decided my old eye should have some rest after all these years. Are you a trader? A trader? No, there's no trade in the temple. Who would trade with us? I make sure everyone is fed and their needs are met. Whenever anyone brings anything to the temple, they give it to me. Have you brought something to me? Or perhaps it's the opposite. There's something you wish to take. Everyone is free to take what they need. Well, let's see what they got. You may take or leave anything you wish. Everything here is as much yours as it is ours. Except that it costs money, so. And there's nothing here that's worth buying, so that's also... I'm gonna try and pick this lock.
I'm glad I was useful to you.
That's a lot of money that we just took. Should we be stealing from these people?
We do it my way.
I don't know about that one. So Kadar's here. This is where we slept. There's more bunk beds over here.
Follow if
Everyone just lives in
dare.
bunk beds? No one has their own rooms? Fair enough, I guess. I mean, it's more of a military base than anything else, or like what's a religious base, obviously.
I'm off.
Oh damn, there's like a lot of sigils here. There's a knowledge world check. We'll save before doing it, just in case.
A failure is just a step
What's
to a
the
success.
DC on this thing? DC 29, so we just need to roll a 9. We should be able to do it. This is a really cool area so far, I gotta say. I'm pretty happy we're here.
A success.
The tomes are filled with ephemerides, data about the movement of celestial bodies. The data seems to have gathered over the centuries. Yes, that's...
There's
seems to
something
be what
here.
oh, there's a book. It says, the Cosmic Caravan and its journey across the sky. We'll look into that later.
Interesting.
Oh, there's another book. Old Sarkorian book. Okay. A dark-haired woman is absorbed in sketching an assortment of dagger blades lying on the ground before her. The thick sketchbooks beside her are also filled with drawings of weapons. Suddenly aware that she is being watched, the woman looks up from her work with an exclamation of surprise. Oh, a visitor in the temple. Your weaponry is so interesting. Oh, sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Nidalev, a priestess of Pulura, mistress of stars, and farewells. What are you drawing? By a stroke of luck, I came across some blades belonging to ritual daggers. They were just lying in a box in some dusty corner. Just imagine Sarkorian art stored away in the temple and then forgotten. So this is what I do in my spare time. I gather the items that once made our nation famous and make sketches, and whatever I cannot find I draw from memory. During the first 20 years of our imprisonment, I sketched our traditional clothing and adornments. I tried to account for all the clans, even those that perished or disappeared before the opening of the world wound. Luckily, items from all over Sarkoris are stored in our temple. They were once brought as gifts for funeral rites of the chieftains. Then I switched to cookware, and then to wood carvings. The wood carvings took me almost half a century, since that was one of the main art forms practiced in Sarkoris. Now I've moved on to weapons. When I'm finished, it will be the most complete collection of sketches on the subject of Sarkorian art. At the very least, these items will be preserved on paper if nowhere else. What can you tell me about this place? Nothing that you couldn't learn from others. This is an ancient temple, one of the most sacred in all Sarkoris. After the wound opened, it turned into a secret enclave of resistance. Of course, we don't fight the demons directly, but our knowledge will help us to defeat them someday, once and for all. Who better to take up such a burden than us? Of course, we did not expect Lady Pulura to prolong our mortal lives, but I'm glad of her gift. I would gaze at the stars for another 100, even another 200 years if it would help us succeed in our mission. What can you tell me about your leaders, Aleandra and Katar? They certainly know how to make an impression, don't they? They're as different as day is to night, but that is their strength, and therefore ours as well. Katar is our protector. He's a rock, an anchor against the storm, holding fast against the tide of demon hordes. Aleandra is our guiding star. She's been leader to us or to others since childhood, and I should know. I followed her here to the temple. I have to go. You're not the person that's having doubts, apparently. That's a locked chest. We'll try and lockpick it. It's only 55%.
I'm glad I was useful to you.
Shit, we are doing another 4 grand? This place is wealthy beyond measure. Okay, so we're back in that temple room. I don't know if this is a... Actually, you know what? Let's click on some things. Hang on. Come back here for a second.
We do it my way.
The daughter. I turned on the daughter, apparently. That sounded weird. Sorry. The rider. How many of these can I turn on? Only some. Okay. We're gonna have to figure that out at some point, because I am deeply curious about that. Let's go look around a little bit more. This might be a 2-video place, though, because I think there's a lot to do in here. Also, there's sun blinding me. Let's go into here. We're going to find these naysayers. The schedule listing the daily responsibilities of the Stargazers and guards. The schedule is packed so tightly, those who adhere to it must have little time to think of anything else. Auden is here. I think he's one of the ones that was regretful. The dwarf looks critically at a table that's been set for a feast. There, plates, cutlery, still no nice cups though. Just have to wrap the present, and the dwarf notices you and gives you a friendly smile. We finally have guests in our quiet abode. Please come in, have a glass of water. Unfortunately, there's nothing else I can offer you, but our water is of the purest quality. I'm Auden, by the way, a Stargazer at your service. What's the occasion? My daughter, Ranhild, turns 125 today. Such an important date calls for an important gift, but where could I find such a present? Well, luckily there's soft stone in the local caves, and I've carved her a clasp for a cloak. Came out alright, I think. Of course, when we complete our star vigil, I'll get her something better. Seems like only yesterday she was running around in her little shift asking me to toss her in the air, and now 125. How time flies. Where's the guest of honor? Auden wilts slightly. Truth be told, I don't know. I can only hope she's in a safe place with her mother and aunts. Do you see the packages in the corner? Those are all the gifts I've never had a chance to give her. I suppose she's outgrown most of them. But what if I'm a grandpa now? My grandchildren could have them. I sure wish I knew for sure. Auden pauses to think. Wait, you're from Dresden? You must know about the Winter Sun Village. There was a temple of Goron there 100 years ago. Maybe it's still there. I know the priests of Goron were hiding my families and other refugees when the invasion began. Please go to the temple and search for anything or anyone that might provide answers about what happened to my family, even if the truth is bitter. I want to know. I can't remain in blissful ignorance forever. I'll find your daughter, then. You're putting aside your own important affairs just to help me. I don't know how to thank you. Auden gives you a small package. It's been carefully wrapped in parchment and tied neatly with a string. If you find Ranhild, please give this to her. Let her know that her daddy always remembers her birthday, and give her all my 11 good wishes. Pure water is very rare in the wound. Do not underestimate its value. Of course, but from time to time something stronger wouldn't hurt, eh? Auden chuckles good-naturedly. We have strict rules about such things. A stargazer can't be seeing double, can he? I have to go. Go and fear nothing. The stars will be your guide. Christry is here. Hi, Christry. I'm just going to steal your stuff. A commander from Dresden. After all this time fighting for Dresden, those words are music to my ears. There's Teriel. He was one of the people we needed to talk to. An elf stargazer is studying a pile of parchments. His appearance is disheveled, and his attention seems to be entirely focused on the calculations in front of him. And again, I knew it. This confirms everything. When the elf notices your presence, he looks up from his work. The commander of Dresden. Incredible. Never thought I'd hear those words. My name is Teriel. I'm a stargazer. Tell me this, commander. You make the rules in Dresden, but do you also abide by them? Yes. As a commander, I must set an example for my soldiers. Teriel looks at you in disbelief. Such noble words. It's been a long time since I've seen a leader who doesn't think they're above the rules. You must know the person I'm talking about, of course. Katar. Are you trying to accuse Katar of something? I've known him for ages. Trust me, we were good friends for a long time. He certainly knows how to make a good impression. But if you look behind his fake exterior, you'll begin to see his true nature. Teriel points to the parchments, which are filled with columns of strange digits and symbols. Look for yourself. It's obvious. A week ago it was a stone tree. 3 months ago it was the outskirts of Wintersun. And 20 years ago it was outside Dresden. 50 years ago it was eyes. And finally 70 years ago the stone tree. I assume he's visiting someone, most likely a woman. Teriel glances at you and frowns. Oh yes, but forgive me. I haven't spoken to anyone about this for a while. To me it's clear as day, but I can understand how you might find my calculations confusing. The stars tell me about Katar's movements, and I can assure you, sometimes he goes to places that are not filled with demons and cultists, but with wine and women. Take Dresden, for example. You see, Katar has forbidden everyone who remained in the temple from seeing their family. He says, it's dangerous and we must keep the secret of our lair. The elf's lips curl with distaste, but for some reason this rule doesn't apply to him. We all vowed to stay within these walls and fulfill our duty, yet he gets to leave the temple whenever he wants? What's he up to out there? I bet my life he's going to see his wife, Ymris, or some other woman. What other reason could he have to go to the stone tree? Dresden was still under the control of demons 20 years ago. If you'd really been keeping an eye on Katar, you would know that. Teriel considers this. You're right. I keep forgetting about what happened to Dresden. It's hard to remember everything. But on one thing I'm certain. Katar went to the stone tree 70 years ago, and I know that because we haven't spoken since then. A shadow falls on Teriel's face, but his sadness quickly gives to anger. Of course I have no need to keep track of his comings and goings. Why would I? When I don't speak to him. But when he's been away for a long time, Aleandra asks me to check on him and make sure he's still alive. That's why I have these calculations. So you see, it's nothing personal. I simply want what's best for the temple. What is the stone tree? It's a tall tree, withered and petrified even before the demons invaded. For some reason, it remains standing. It's supposed to be a secret place they hold. I mean, they used to hold celebrations and weddings there. Ymris and Katar got married there too, you know, so it all makes sense. Why don't you tell Aleandra that Katar's breaking the rules? Do you really think she'd believe me? She trusts Katar more than any of us. She and Katar agree on everything. She always takes his side. Alright, I'll find out where he goes. Excellent. He definitely stopped at the stone tree. I wouldn't be surprised if he's cozying up to some beauty from Wintersun in a cave somewhere. He's probably feasting her and laughing at us fools for trusting him. I have to go. Thank you for your loot. Okay, so we got a maybe traitor. We got a person whose family's missing forever. And we have one more person to talk to. There's also something that dinged here. What's on the thing there? It's a funerary dagger of Arigao the Saint. Interesting. A pale young man is staring at you. Incredible. I didn't think anyone could find this place. You're a gift from heaven. Oh, I mean, forgive my rudeness. I'm Regnard, a stargazer. I'm very pleased to meet you. I think you might be the only one who could help me. Why am I the only one who can help you? The undead roam near the entrance to our caves. They were once great warriors, but now they're just corpses raised to undeath through some foul ritual. I've become very interested in one of them. You see, the history of Sarkoris, or I studied the history of Sarkoris. Legend tells of a great ruler named Aelberige, who is buried with his mighty sword, Rage of Ice. Of course, most people think it's just a myth. But when the guards told me they defeated an undead that was wearing ancient armor and wielding an ornate sword, I almost lost my mind. The guards don't want to get near the corpse again, even if he really is dead this time, but maybe you could bring me Rage of Ice. Just think, we could prove that Aelberige, Master of Eyes, really existed. Be a breakthrough in historical research. Alright, I'll bring you the sword. I don't know how to thank you. Ragnard's face lights up. A young man such as yourself must find it difficult to be stuck in one place for so long. Ragnar shakes his head sadly. A young man, you say? I've long forgotten how old I really am, but by Pulura's grace, my body does not age, but my soul feels dry, as I'm nothing more than an empty husk. I used to admire the stars, but now all I see is a collection of dim lights in the sky. I know their paths by heart, but... He stops abruptly. You're probably not interested in all that. I gotta go. Must be nice to have somewhere to go. I mean, it is. A rack filled with what appears to be ancient Sarkorian weapons. Alright, I guess we can do the ritual now. We're not allowed to leave this place, I don't think. Maybe we can. Let's go see if we can. It's possible this is a high-level area, though. If we go out here, we may just die. But we'll see. We'll see if we can complete that quest for that one guy.
I'm off.
I'm not entirely sure what we're looking for out here, or what will be out here.
I refuse to accept their statement.
There's ancient Sarkorian whites here. And specters. Shit.
Surrender or else.
And here comes the level drains. I think we could win this fight if we buffed up.
Could this happen?
Yeah, they're not that tough. Okay. This is fine. We'll just get some buffs going, and we'll get Death Ward? Death Ward out. At least on our main character. She can tank. She just needs mirror image and, you know, mage armor, that kind of thing. I don't imagine this is going to be the hardest fight in the world, so.
I'm gone.
Wait, where'd that dagger go? We should probably pick that up. Okay, let's get some
I'm
buffs.
always open to ideas.
I know we're at 31 minutes, but...
Yes, no, air, orama. Es, axe, yes, no, air, orama. Es, axe, yes, no, air, orama.
We'll also get haste, of course, and where's Death Ward?
Too bad no one can see.
She gets a level 4 spell. 1 minute per level, so it lasts a good 10 minutes, that's fine. And we're gonna grab Communal Protection from Evil. Only lasts a minute.
You are
And then
my
haste,
favorite
and that should be enough.
We do it my way.
I will defend my dream.
Okay, your move. No. Everyone back here, except you. You go deal with them.
Don't hold back.
I
Go.
will resist.
There's a lot of specters, but luckily we should be just fine now that we have buffs on. In fact, they're not doing all that much damage to us. It's mostly level drains we gotta watch out for.
Prepare yourself.
Cool. Killed a bunch of stuff. All these daggers. These are masterwork swords, at least. There's an athletics check to ascend to the top. Let's save before doing that. It could be real bad.
We won't fall here.
Oh crap.
I
Hang on, we gotta redo that. Elira has to go first and has to tank the Spectre. She's the only one with Death Ward. Everyone else will take some severe level drains and die. Damn it. What's the athletics check? DC 27. We only have to roll 20 or 7. But I don't want to lose a bunch of life. There we go.
My skill.
And you're up
Won't
first.
let you hurt my friends.
Don't hold back.
Everyone else go back for like 1 second. Let her engage all the spirits first. Oh, good, you got attack of opportunity, Sela. That's okay, actually, that's not the worst thing. It's only 3 levels. We can restore those out pretty easily. Excuse me. I know we're almost at the end of the video. More money, lots of money. Oh shit.
Not waver.
Oh man, that's so many earth elementals. How tough are they? One's fallen down. These actually aren't that bad. Oh, Sela, you're taking such a beating. Why are you still standing? Oh, that was Soziel. Never mind. This is fine. Alright. Bunch more kills.
Search for the beauty with your heart.
Let's give ourselves a quick couple of heals. That was not a very good one. That was a bit better. Okay, Earth Elemental dead. Moving on. I guess we'll probably have to call it here soon. We're getting pretty late into the video. I guess this is where I'll end it here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, in the next video, we'll continue this Sarkoris area. It's a pretty cool place. I wonder if we get to go there with the other group eventually. I guess we'll see. Take care, guys. See you next time.